shelter or clothing, but we're still far away from there, and we are not even enabled to be able to guarantee essential issues, essential provisions of life, as you have read, which is correct.
Mrs. Atoke, you mentioned earlier the number of complaints you have you received in 2016. Is there a possibility that you did not get more complaints because the consumer either does not know his rights or is apathetic about the reaction he's going to get from the Consumer Protection Council or any other council for that matter regarding the redress he's supposed to get? Readily coming to my mind is the aviation sector, where sometimes flights are cancelled and people are told, come back tomorrow. In any other clime, if you cancel my flight for today and ask me to come back tomorrow, it is your duty to house me until you're prepared to move me to my destination. Yet it doesn't happen in this country, and I'm not sure that your council is getting such reports, because people just say, well, this is Nigeria.
Thank you. Aviation is one area that we have been on top of, really. And that's one area where business impunity has thrived, and for which we also have given them run for their money. We do receive those reports, and we give the aviations the orders to redress. The rights are ingrained in the NCCA Act, the Passengers Bill of Rights, which provides if your flight is delayed for 2 hours, you are entitled to refreshment. If your flight is delayed for more than that, you are entitled to a meal. And if it is after the hours of work, you should be put in a hotel. Now, we give orders to the aviation operators. But they, for whatever reason or for whatever backing that they have, they believe that the CPC has no business in the aviation sector. And that has led to the prosecution of Turkish Airlines that is going on at the moment, where a plane arrived from Istanbul and not a single passenger had their luggage available on arrival. Neither was there any single Turkish airline staff at the airport. And the CPC waded into it and demanded to know what the airline has done. And there was a blatant disregard of the CPC's intervention or the order. And even when the Attorney General intervened and requested that they should comply with the order of the Council, that airline failed. And so we are at the moment, and I think the matter is coming up next week, where the principal partners are being prosecuted for disregard of the order of Council. So let me say that I do agree that in the aviation sector, there has been a lot of abuse of consumers, but that is not because the CPC is not on top of it, but because we are trying to deal with the impunity of the operators in that sector, backed by certain portions, certain agencies, which allows them to keep on. But we will address these issues using the law.
Are you
and I believe that when the officers are beginning to be prosecuted, then it will become realistic that this is not the way to go. Business cannot be as usual. Impunity cannot thrive anymore. And consumers deserve value. If you are entitled to fly at a particular time.
Are you implying that you've been having some sort of friction between the agencies of government as regards protecting the consumer?
Well, I think it's all a misunderstanding of the law, because the law is very clear, and it decides, or it depends on how you want to apply it. We, the Consumer Protection Council, is the apex agency set up to protect consumers in all the sectors of the law. We even have a mandate to implement any legislation for the protection of consumers, howsoever it is made. So it doesn't matter if it is in the telecom sector or is in the aviation sector or is in the banking sector. It doesn't really matter. We have the powers to provide redress and provide protection. But it does seem that this is not fully understood, and there's the belief that certain area of protection must be veered away from the CPC, which I keep saying is a misunderstanding of the law. But we will continue to use the law. We have the law in our support. There's nowhere in the economy that we cannot go in to protect consumers. And we don't have any issue with any agency. We will not take up any agency. We'll take up the operators. Those are the agencies who are obliged to obey us. And so we'll continue to do that. We've had support from the central bank, that is a sector regulator for financial services. We work very seamlessly with them. We don't have, and that's why even at some point in time, we're able to order a bank to pay about 1.5 billion naira, and the central bank didn't have any issue with that. So I think that there's still need for a full understanding of the global power and mandate of the CPC, so that we can have a seamless protection of consumers. Because if you believe that as a sector regulator you have the powers to protect consumers, please do so. And we would leave that sector and move on. But if you don't protect the consumers in that sector, then there's going to be a challenge, because we'll just move in. And if there's any resistance, we'll use the law.
Okay, Mr. Toki, we'll take a moment. When we come back, we'll be looking at the Consumer Rights Day, which is on the 15th of March. Please don't go away.